Hey guys, Raiden here and welcome to another Patreon video because I have nothing else to offer you guys. Or another Q&A Patreon video. First, before we even start that, I do want to say something. I want to say thank you guys. We've been growing faster than ever lately at a like 200-something% increase in subscriber rate, which is nuts. It's the only like glimpse of growth I've had for like a year, so that's awesome. Thank you for all of you people who are sharing my videos or talking to your friends about it or whatever you're doing to get people to notice my videos, or even if it's just the YouTube search algorithm. Thank you for watching. I do have a very special thing at 5,000 subscribers you guys are definitely gonna want to participate in. Trust me, if you're a fan of this channel in any way, you're gonna want to participate in that thing. But that's only once we get to 5,000 subscribers, so for now, let's just do this Q&A. Thank you guys for donating on Patreon, by the way. It's completely optional, like I won't starve or anything, but thank you, it means a lot, because it's out of the kindness of your hearts. But the first question is from Mexican Zoidberg, and I haven't read any of these yet, by the way. Time for a slightly risque question. Oh, okay, that actually kind of scares me. Do you have any sexual fetishes, and if you do, what are they? That's a really personal question to ask, but it's not like I have anything that I post all over the channel and make jokes about 24/7 all the time, literally all the time. Aside from that, I'm disgusting and I like kindness and appreciation and natural beauty and things like that, so yeah, I'm sorry to inform you guys that I'm filthy like that. Don't even talk about hand holding on here, or eye contact. What dirty people you are in the comment section. And this week is yet another week where people have to ask multiple questions, so another one from Mexican Zoidberg, and this is the longest question I've ever gotten. Have you played Doki Doki Literature Club? If no, will you consider doing a Let's Play on it? If somehow you don't know what Doki Doki Literature Club is, it's a free-to-play visual novel with adorable girls, inspired by token anime stereotypes. It's a very short game, so if you do decide to play it, you won't have to commit too much to it. If you haven't played it, I recommend going into it completely blind, since it's one of those types of games. The type of game that is impossible to forget. Face. So I have heard of it, and it's not really my thing. I'm a coward and don't deal with, how do I say it? I'm just gonna like spoil the thing here for you, so if you're worried about this, then leave. But I'm not a huge fan of horror, or natural horror, or regular jump scares, or anything like that. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. Really, I'm not like the roller coaster guy or the scary movie guy. It's just, none of that stuff is enjoyable to me. It's more just terrifying and really bad feeling. So I know the twist to that game already. And I'm sure for like horror fans or whatever that fan base is, they must really enjoy that game. And it looks like such a unique idea. I'm really happy that something like that should come out. But I'm more of like a survival horror guy, which I can handle. Like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Evil Within, very original Alone in the Dark, things like that really catch my eyes, where visual novels typically I'm actually not all that interested in. The reason I'm interested in like Danganronpa and Ace Attorney and Zero Escape, if I hadn't already played it, I'd totally play it on the channel, is because those games, for one, have been recommended to me over and over and over again, and two, they just have some sort of twist and some semblance of gameplay. So visual novels really aren't my thing at the end of the day, and they're not the most popular thing on the channel, but people seem to like them enough for me to keep doing them, so that's cool. It'll make me consider things in the future. Next we have Eternal Composer saying, would you ever make a Xenoflux Raiden t-shirt / hoodie? I would totally support that. Xenoflux cereal, Xenoflux lunchbox, Xenoflux the flamethrower. The kids love those. I don't know why it transformed into Snake / Volk there. But I would absolutely love to do that. I mean, it feels a little, how do I say it? It feels a little weird to put my name or like a logo on anyone else and be like, wear this and represent me. It's just such a weird idea to me. But if enough people were into it and probably like enough subscribers or viewers, then yeah. I'd totally consider doing something like that, or maybe something smaller, or I don't know. It'd be a cool idea, and I'd be interested to team up with some of the artists I know for that, and it would be really great just to see that happen, just to see people wearing a t-shirt. I don't know what would be on it. There could be so many things. It could be a special type of logo or whatever, but yeah, it would be really cool to see that happen. Eternal Composer also asks, favorite animal and why? Okay, a lot of people are about to disagree with me on this. I actually have two favorite animals. They're kind of weird. So my first favorite animal is actually a spider. And you're like, what? You like spiders? That's weird. And I actually grew up, and before I had a dog or cat, I had 3 tarantulas, 2 snakes, 2 giant African millipedes, an iguana, I want to say? Yeah, I think it was an iguana, and 2 lizards. So I am much more accustomed to those than I am to dogs and cats, but I still love dogs and cats. But I really like spiders. They're just such interesting creatures. The way there's so many varieties of them, what kind of spider they are kind of dictates how they hunt. It's super cool. I'm kind of terrified of them, to be honest, still. When they're in a cage and I can just feed them with whatever, crickets, whatever, it's fine. Or when they're outside my house, but there have been a couple very, very large spiders inside my house. And those take some dealing with. Normally I can get them out alive, but sometimes they act really erratic, and you have to put them down, which I don't want to, but you have to sometimes. I also really like, I'm also a big fan of sloths. I just think they're kind of cute. I can't tell you why, but if you ever watch videos of baby sloths, they're the most adorable thing ever. Asami asks, what's your favorite Monster Hunter and why? Oh, Monster Hunter Monster. I was like, my favorite Monster Hunter, it would have to be World now that it's come out. So for those of you who don't know or who haven't followed me on Twitter, I have been playing World so much. I know you're like, so that's why you're late on videos. And yes, that is why I'm sometimes late on videos. Lately, it's just been because I'm very busy, and I've also had to recover from this braces thing because it actually took me like a day or 2 before I could properly talk without like immense pain, which isn't normal for braces, so they had to adjust them. If I had to pick a favorite Monster Hunter monster, and don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying that this monster is a good fight, or it's anything special mechanically, but I really love Giganox. He's probably my most memorable monster, and that's something you won't hear from a lot of people. Like, in Monster Hunter 3 or 3rd, or whichever version I had for the Wii U, the first time I saw Giganox it just terrified me, really. Because I had no idea how to fight it. It's this giant double-headed bat that hangs upside down from the ceiling and spews little babies out of its mouth, in both mouths at that. It's so creepy and weird and different. I really like it. It engraved something onto me when I saw it. I'm like, okay, monsters have a real potential to be cool. They have a real potential to be cool because up until I saw him, the only other thing I really saw that I thought was neat was Lagiacrus. And even he's just like a water dragon serpent thing. A big shout out also to Gore Magala for being the first monster to ever trip me up to that extent. When I fought Gore Magala, and when you find him in 4, and this isn't in Generations, he kicks your ass. He does so much damage. He moves so much more quickly than anything you have fought up until that point. And if you fail to be aggressive, you will lose. And that's what I kind of learned what I was trying to do. I was a Switch Axe user. I've always been Switch Axe's favorite weapon since 3. So that includes standing right next to this scary monster who can one-shot me and hitting it at every single opportunity I got. In the moment I felt that terrible, terrible beast was probably one of my favorite moments in Monster Hunter, next to hunting the Deviljho for the first time with a friend of mine. The last question we have is also from Asami, who says, who is your favorite Ace Attorney character, major, minor, one-liner, whatever, from what you played so far? I would probably, in all honesty, have to say Lang. I know that's a really recent one, not that I played AAI recently, but Investigator Lang was probably my favorite Ace Attorney character. I really liked his design, the way he just took sunglasses on and off. He wore this gigantic fluffy coat and had all these men who followed him around constantly. He just seemed like such an interesting character, and they didn't just throw him away and make him like a singular joke like they do with a lot of characters. They gave him proper development, and development I thought was very sound. Along with his partner, that was a fun thing to figure out that on accident. Well, not really on accident, but to notice something like that and have to be like, oh, I was right the whole time, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, this is going to sound like complete gibberish. Also, multiple people have asked me who I think best girl in Ace Attorney is. They'll have to wait till I meet this Athena lady that everyone keeps talking about, because I've heard a lot of things, a lot of positive things mostly about Athena. And she's a pretty fun character, so excited to get to her eventually. That's actually all the questions there are, and that's all the answers I have for your questions. So once again, thank you for just even watching my videos is enough. The fact that people even donate is nuts to me. The fact that people wanted me to set up a Patreon so they could donate and were practically yelling at me about it is nuts to me. But, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I have to get used to talking with this new set of braces because it's something else. It really is something else. I'll probably get used to it eventually, though. Another question I have gotten quite often is about the endgame of, Danganronpa V3, and people are asking, like, hey, are you gonna do that? Because I've heard that endgame is very, very long. I don't know, honestly, because I know there are people who have, like, I don't know, it's taking them, like, 20 to 30 episodes, and it depends on how much people actually want that stuff. It's gonna be interesting, for sure. It's gonna be something I'm gonna have to decide on as we go into the post-game Danganronpa content, and we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my videos, and thank you Patreon supporters for even doing this. I didn't think anyone would, but thank you a lot. We're just gonna keep on trucking with Shadows of Valentia and Danganronpa V3. I'm gonna try to get used to these braces the best I can, because it's intrusive as shit, and it's really actually kind of making me upset a little. Because, like, talking is my whole thing, and the dentist is like, here, let me put this piece of metal in your mouth. It's like, why? It's like, to make your teeth straight. It's like, why? It's like, so you look good. It's like, I don't care what I look like, though. But, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Riding out.